Welcome to Psychic Insights, where pop culture meets higher consciousness and the tea is always a little bit mystical. I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and around here we don't just watch the drama unfold. We read the energy behind it, whether it's celebrity scandals, reality TV, chaos, or true crime with a twist. I'm tuning in to bring you the intuitive scoop the headlines miss. So buckle up, because your aura's about to get entertained. Welcome back to my channel. It's Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and hopefully your favorite psychic on the internet. If not, I don't take offense. All right, so guess what we're going to be talking about today? Oh boy, we're talking about our girl, Laura Owens. And if you've been following this story, I got a good episode for you. And if you're new to the story, well, I will tell you a little bit about her. And it doesn't look like her story is ending anytime soon. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like, oh, it's quiet on the front and then something drops. Well, all right, I got to walk you through this because, we're going to start with a brief recap and then we're going to move into this latest layer of Laura. Okay, so we're going to talk about her filing bankruptcy and why and what our cards say about this. Okay, I also took a look at her Chinese astrology and her astrology and how 2026 will be impacting this and how it's so in alignment with what I pulled for the cards. And remember, this isn't a legal ruling or an accusation of guilt or any of that. Remember, this is intuitive commentary, and take it for what it's worth for entertainment purposes. Okay. So for those of us, let's recap. Laura Owens became publicly known through a series of legal disputes involving allegations of false pregnancy claims. And in Arizona, she has been indicted on multiple felony charges. Currently, the tally is at 14. And it's including allegations of perjury, forgery, fraudulent schemes. I always want to do this. Fraudulent schemes and tampering with evidence. She has pleaded not guilty, and legally she is presumed innocent unless she is proven otherwise. All right, so that's our factual baseline. So what happens, what matters for this conversation is context. And these allegations involve documentation, sworn statements, and records. And whenever records are involved, consistency and credibility matter. Now, layered on top of the legal this backdrop, we have this bankruptcy. And I want to pause here because this part matters. Bankruptcy itself is not a crime. People file bankruptcy every day for legitimate reasons. But bankruptcy does have one specific thing. It opens financial records to formal review. And now we have a significant docket update. January 5th, 2026, the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the District of Arizona issued an order authorizing the Chapter 7 trustee to employ outside legal counsel in this bankruptcy case. Now, it doesn't mean guilt. It does not mean fraud has been proven, and it does not mean new charges have been filed. But what it does mean is that the trustee believes this case requires legal handling beyond the routine administration. And in plain English, that signals increased legal complexity and enhanced review. And energetically, this lines up exactly with the first card pull that I had. All right, so let's talk about the first cards. I pulled Tree, Fish, woman, snake, cross, scythe, birds, book, and ship. And this spread tells a very clear story. So let's start with the tree and the fish. The tree and the fish, it does not feel, when we have the tree, it's not sudden. It's not sudden. It's not a sudden financial collapse. Fish is money. Tree is long rooted and historical. And we've seen this in her parents also filing bankruptcy. Fish is money, assets, and financial flow. So together they say this has been building for a long time, which that's kind of a no-brainer. But if you go over to Big Tiff and hear any of the things that she commented on with this case and the financials, it's fascinating. So it's been building for a long time, and we know that the bankruptcy doesn't feel like the beginning of the story. It feels like a chapter in a much, much longer story. Okay, so then we have woman and snake. Woman and snake. And this shows a central figure navigating complexity through strategy and self-protection. The snake energy isn't always malicious, but it is calculating. And it's maneuvering. Trying to stay ahead. Trying to manage outcomes instead of surrendering to the process. And it doesn't feel accidental. It feels managed until it isn't. And what we know of Laura, this is very right on time, right? This is what she does, right? Okay, so then we've got the cross and the scythe. The cross and the scythe. And this is our turning point. Cross is the burden, the weight, the consequences, and scythe is the sudden intervention. And together, this is where pressure interrupts strategy. Something external steps in, and something becomes unavoidable. And energetically, this is where a situation stops being privately handled and starts being seen formally, overseen. Cards don't lie. Then we have the birds in the book. The birds in the book. The birds are chatter, anxiety, speculation. Book, in this case, are documents, records, whatever's written. And this combination tells us something very clearly. What matters now is not what's said, it's what's documented. This is the energy of filings, transcripts, court records, and a review, which brings us back to that court order authorizing the outside counsel. I also want to say something about book. Book can also be secrets revealed, more information. So this could lead to more information. So look for that. Okay, so then we got to talk about the ship. And the ship explains why this doesn't settle quickly. Ship is movement, distance, wider reach. Ship says this doesn't stay contained. It doesn't automatically mean federal charges. And I want to be clear about that, but it does mean expanded scope, broader review, and longer timelines. Once something leaves port, it doesn't turn around easily. I don't know about you, but I got the image of the Titanic. Okay. So then we've got my second card pull. And this is what the question is could this escalate further? And I was thinking in terms of federal charges because that's the chatter. That's the chatter amongst the community. Okay. So I thought, well, let's find out, right? So I pulled rider, sun, and key. All right. And I want to be precise here. Rider is incoming information, notice, filings. It's not rumor energy. It's official movement. Something shifts from behind the scenes into motion. And we have the sun. And the sun brings seriousness and authority. In legal readings like this often points to higher level oversight, not emotion, not chaos, just importance. And the key is inevitability of process, not outcome. So once something is unlocked procedurally, it continues because it must. No prediction, no accusation, just systems doing what systems do. This doesn't tell us that charges are coming, but what it does say is information moves, it's taken seriously at a higher level, and once unlocked, the process continues, which fits perfectly with bankruptcy, review, outside counsel being authorized, and the theme of documentation driving momentum. All right, so I also wanted to look at her astrology and the Chinese zodiac and why 2026 matters. So Laura was born on May 14th, 1990, making her a Taurus sun and a metal horse in Chinese astrology. Taurus under pressure for this is Taurus values stability, control, and material security. But here's the challenge. You can protect a narrative, but you can't protect a paper trail. And Taurus struggles when systems demand flexibility and transparency. Now, the metal horse, when she's a metal horse from 1990, metal horse is meeting the fire horse of 2026. And horse years amplify momentum and visibility. Fire intensifies everything. For someone born in a horse year, so weird. She loves the horses. This creates a mirror effect. Your energy comes back louder, faster, and harder to contain. Fire melts metal. Strategies that once worked stop working. It's going to be a big year. Control becomes harder to maintain. Astrologically, this is not a quiet year for her. Uranus is activating Taurus themes, money, stability, security systems. And 2026 is not about hiding or consolidating. It's about forced adaptation. So think about that, forced adaptation. All right, so this particular story isn't about punishment. It's about systems catching up. And bankruptcy is opening the records. The key is turning, opening the doors. The court orders are increasing the oversight. The documentation is driving the momentum, and the ship tells us why this keeps expanding instead of closing. This isn't chaos, it's structure. Okay, so when systems start asking questions, they don't stop because someone wants closure. They stop when the answers are complete, and energetically, we know this story is not complete. So, what do you think? Comment in the comment section, and let me know if there's other stories you'd like me to follow when it comes to Laura. I think there was one, the Mike Maricini appeal. I'm going to look at that. And I was thinking for funsies, I would look at what Laura might have been like if she had chosen a different path based on her human design and her gene keys. So if she had evolved, what would her life path look like right now? Just for fun. Anyway, thank you for liking, subscribing, and supporting my channel. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe and think about sharing this episode with someone who might be interested in this case. And as always, I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and I will see you in the next one.